They might not be talking about trebles or even allowing themselves the prospect to even think about it, but there's one thing to agree, that success at Celtic, this is one hurdle that needs to be negotiated. Outside of Ibrox, Chris Sutton says that this is the toughest tie that Celtic could have landed. There's going to be some interesting decisions for Ange Postecoglou to make in a few hours' time. He's probably made them already this morning. Expect Greg Taylor to come back in, Alistair Johnson to return to the side. Bernabei done alright, Tony Ralston done alright, but those two will drop out this weekend. It's going to be some shift for the fullbacks today in Edinburgh. It's going to be some shift for the fans, as there's a bigger fan allocation today. And I'm sure if you've ever been to Tynecastle, it's one of the grounds that they're just the nasty brothers in the corner on both sides. It'll be good for the Celtic fans to wind them up. It's a strange one because Dyson Maeda has obviously been so effective off the bench, but said Haksabanovic could come in this afternoon, as could Abada also. There has been speculation that he hasn't been too happy regarding being a bench player. Joe Hart, on the other hand, is happy with the fact that he could be a history maker in this season's Scottish Cup, being the exact same as Kenny Dalglish, being one of a very, very few players to have won all three cups in Scotland and in England. So the big hearty he talks about that. Ange Postecoglou talks about ramifications and such like of players talking to their own country media, but he said that he says that Liel Abada is fine. He just goes, well, Liel Abada is in a great space just now, so don't listen to anything that anybody else says. Tottenham Hotspur, the speculation that the manager is going to go to Tottenham Hotspur was again played down by the manager, and I'll tell you at the end of the video exactly when you can expect to find out the next round of the Scottish Cup. So back to big mad Chris Sutton. He's been talking about the Celtic team this weekend, and he's been talking about the fact that Robbie Neilson has done more to try and get into the mindset of officials rather than mind games with Ange Postecoglou. Ange Postecoglou obviously played down this speculation, and fuck, you say about Neilson, he's still crying about decisions from last weekend, but he generally does that every game that he plays, and he gets beat by Celtic. He has a good old moan. I think that Joe Hart had his pipe in his slippers last week against the game. It could be a bit more busy today. I think Hearts will have a go because they know that it's it's a cup game, so hopefully they come out and have a real good go, but that will allow Celtic to obviously get the wing backs up and do a bit of damage to them this afternoon. Joe Hart has wanted to play down speculation that he could be the same as Kenny Dalglish if Celtic were to win the Scottish Cup. The duo, Andrei Konchelski, you remember him? We'll talk less about him the better. He the only guys to actually lift all three trophies in the domestic season, both in Scotland and in England. If Hart does the same feat this season, obviously it's the quarter-finals today. If Celtic can get through, they get into the semi-finals. The semi-final will actually be on Saturday the 29th of April, and then the second one will be on Sunday, which will be the next day, and that'll be at Hampden. You can actually find out who we play in the next round if we get through on Monday evening. The ballot will be screened on Monday after the game that's played live on the BBC. I think it is. I think it's Falkirk versus Ayr United. Sevco obviously have an easy game tomorrow afternoon against Raith Rovers. So come on, Kirkcaldy boys, just try and do your damage against the Sevco. Ange Postecoglou talking about the speculation rumour. It was just a rumour. It's some media, somebody sitting in a media room somewhere, and they said, "Oh look, Tottenham manager might leave this summer. Who will we go for?" I think we'll go for Ange Postecoglou. It's just nonsense. Ange Postecoglou talking about it says he doesn't wake up in the morning, he doesn't look at the press, he doesn't talk about gossip, he doesn't get a daily briefing on the latest gossip, whether it's football or non-football related, meaning managers, meaning players that are talking to press in their own country. He just doesn't bother about it at all. Talking about Liel Abada, he said that Liel Abada is fine. He just goes on with what is in. He says Liel Abada is in a great space. He's done very, very, very well for us. He can still improve as a player. So Ange Postecoglou is not worried about him. He says they've all been really strong this year, the players. All of the wingers have had their part to play, and they've all contributed whenever he's needed them. Some start, some come on, which is great for us. We need them all at the moment. Some people think it's a bit of a luxury to have these guys. Ange Postecoglou went on to say for a while it was, but it shows it can change very, very quickly. James Forrest is out injured, Dyson and Maida is out injured, is a doubt for today, so that you can see why we need plenty of cover, the Celtic manager says. Abada made a rare start against Hearts in midweek, and the two teams are to meet up today with the Scottish Cup game. It's the one bit of trophy where the Ange Postecoglou is yet to lift in Scotland. Could this be the season? I think it will be. I think we're just on too good a form. I think it could be an annihilation today if Celtic get into the rhythm early on, but you know that the way that Hearts are going to play, and especially at Tynecastle, they're going to try and stop us playing as much. It's a really good atmosphere at Tynecastle. It's a really bigoted atmosphere at Tynecastle. Anybody that's been there, any Celtic fan that's been there will tell you that. It's great for us in our perspective, because it's like you shut them up 20 minutes into the game, you know, there'll be a bit to come back. But if you're going down under that tunnel today into the ground, there probably will be all those masses of stewards and police as always. So if you're going to the game today, have a great one. Tell me in the comments what you think the score will be. I think it's the most important thing that the team have a really clear focus on what they want to achieve this season, and that is to win the treble. Whether they say it in public or not, that's what they want to do. And on that note, have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world, and I'll come live from the biggest Celtic supporters club in mainland Spain. Yep, the Hoops Bar has opened.